Hi, my name's Phil. I like talking about politics, and in this video, I'd like to discuss the latest intriguing news on Charlotte Owen. Now, for those who don't know, this was the, at the time, 30-year-old who was elevated to the House of Lords by Boris Johnson, creating a huge amount of speculation ever since. Speculation which is only going to intensify when you hear this latest news. And although I'm going to begin by saying I don't subscribe to the more extreme theory that, she is his secret daughter or anything, like, apart from the fact I'm quite sure her actual father, whom we know is, well, I don't know personally, but, we know who it is. I'm sure he's getting pretty sick of this. It doesn't even make sense anyway. Like, if Johnson were in the habit of giving his kids plum jobs, why not the others? No, there'll be something funny going on here. Like, I don't believe that Owen has been stunningly useful to Johnson whilst doing a bit of maternity cover for a political aide in his office for a few months. She will either have been very, very good at boosting his ego, or that she's got some damaging information on him, or maybe something else. But there's absolutely no reason to put her in the House of Lords under the normal situation. Most people that Johnson put in their Lords were unsuitable, granted, but they could at least claim some political experience or project management skills, like they'd done something in their lives. Charlotte Owen has no background in anything with which she can even pretend to be a suitable candidate as a legislator. My GCSEs are older and of more value than she is. But she is once again attracting attention for her registered interest. So here's the thing. There's one entry on her register of members' interest. One. A paid job as vice president of a group called Better Earth Limited. The entry doesn't state what the job pays. It's apparently a group lobbying for a transition away from high carbon energy, but in reality it looks to me like it's specifically a nuclear-based lobby group. But never mind that. So Owen is vice president of an environmental lobby group. She has no background in environmental work, by the way, so how did she land such a senior position within this group? Is it because she'd be useful to them being a member of our national parliament? Perhaps. But what's really interesting is that the co-chair of this group is none other than Boris Johnson. Okay, then. That should make all the speculation about why Johnson's so keen to promote Owen beyond her experience or competence go away now, shouldn't it? Or maybe the exact opposite. Because some people may say, well, if it were the case she was listing loads and loads of jobs, because there are politicians in both the Lords and the Commons who, in their members' interest, you've got a right list of jobs that they've got. It's part of the reason why, we quite like the idea of these second jobs being cracked down on, in fact, basically eliminated altogether. Because how can you split your time amongst all these things? But let's say she had this huge string of jobs. And you'd think, and one of them happens to be one where Boris Johnson also had a senior position, you'd probably say it was less suspicious because Boris Johnson's probably got his fingers in a lot of pies. If they happen to overlap here and there, it's probably the sort of thing that might naturally happen. But she's listed one job. She's basically got two jobs, as far as can be told. She's an unelected legislator and she's vice president of this lobby group. And both of those positions were as a result of Boris Johnson's patronage. So it's like, Owen herself has regularly lied about her past work. For example, she claimed to have worked for George Osborne while he was Chancellor. Well, this was news to us, Osborne's office said when they were asked about it. In fact, her real CV is just a list of very small term appointments. Few months here, few months there. Perhaps it's her ability to spin a yarn which endeared her to Johnson. But there's something very strange about these appointments. Even accounting for Johnson's cronyist tendencies, there is no credible reason why Johnson should have secured such senior and high-profile positions for what is a serial intern. And she definitely doesn't have the qualifications for either position. There were other people who probably were more useful to Boris Johnson who got nothing, right? The more we see of her, the more we see that she seems to be like Johnson himself, just a privately educated chancer riding her luck. And given that one of these two roles is in our parliament, and the public do have a right to know what's going on. And, on what basis was she elevated to the Lords at the very least? I guess if Labour move within a reasonable time frame to abolish all unelected Lords, which is in the manifesto, although it's not happening in this Parliament and there is no clear time frame given. But if that did happen in the foreseeable future, Okay, may not be such a serious issue. If she wants to get herself elected to the upper chamber, okay, that's her business. But until we know when the upper chamber is going to be elected, I think we should worry about the fact that we've got an inexperienced Chancellor and the son of a Russian spy in our national legislature. You know, Labour are currently binning hereditary peers as a first step and especially crinkly peers as a second step. Neither of these would see Owen or the Lord of Siberia turfed out. So unless Labour announce that the democratisation of the chamber is coming in their hoped-for second term in office, I think there's good reason to ask why people like Charlotte Owen are sitting in our parliament without any public mandate, without even any relevant skills or indeed any experience, relevant or otherwise. Because there were some other ones that didn't happen. We know about, like, if we bring back Nadine Dorries, poor old Mad Nads. So she was supposed to end up in the House of Lords and then didn't because of shenanigans. I would not be able to complain if she ended up in the House of Lords. Do I think she'd be suitable? No, not at all. But she'd been an MP for quite a while. She'd been a Secretary of State. So she's sort of like, if I were to come up with a list of suitable qualifications or experiences that would allow you to be selected for the House of Lords, and given that appointments are largely political anyway, I would have absolutely no reason to exclude Nadine Dorries from the House of Lords. But Charlotte Owen, I don't see she ticks any boxes. But there we are. Those are my thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe for further content and click the like button. You can also sign up for memberships if you'd like to support the channel further. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later.